Create a fun festive decoration you can show off from Memorial Day all the way through Labor Day. Designer Dana Engemann is here to show us how to make this one-of-a-kind handmade Uncle Sam. So Dana, what was your inspiration for this? How did you think of this?
So my inspiration for the Uncle Sam was, of course, the Coca-Cola hat, because
we have to pay homage to Coca-Cola.
People who love their soda, they're pretty passionate about it. So I was trying to figure out something to do with a recycled, upcycled, reused can.
Well, you know, this is amazing because as we are showing people, this is quite a statement for a reused can. I was thinking I'd throw it in the recycling bin, but you've come up with so much more than that.
My husband's like, are we collecting cans now? I'm like, yeah.
Well, we are.
Yeah.
We are.
Yeah,
okay, so tell me a tiny bit about the detail of this guy.
So the idea behind Uncle Sam was to be able to make something vintagey, looking old, but then be able to leave it out from Memorial Day through 4th of July and into the Labor Day weekend. So fun things, I've got these cute laser word cutouts, the metal bird, of course his pants filled with flowers, that's one of the things I'm going to show you, and just all the little details just really, and it's an explosion of glory, of course, out of his hat. And his Yankee Doodle feather, too.
Oh, I love it. You got to have the Yankee Doodle feather for the summer, right? Okay, and he's standing on some kind of a base.
So he's just built up on a little small wooden base that you can just purchase at the craft store. And I have dowels for the leg, and then I work my way up the body and layering it and just going back from there on.
Okay, so I'm going to make you show me how to make this. Because I realize you keep saying it's so simple and it's all based around the can, but
it is in a way.
Really ornate and super fun. And so let's see how you do this.
So the first thing I'm gonna show you is how to stiffy the pants is what I call them. And if you haven't discovered Mod Podge, it will be your best friend and you will love it. There's so many different uses for it. But what I'm doing here is honestly, I'm just coating his whole pants. These are great for so many different things, like if you wanted to make a witch hat or something like that, what this does is as it dries, it will dry stiff, and you can kind of feel that the pants have stiffness.
So it kind of keeps its shape, keeps its form as you do that. And you've sewn these, right? Just a little cutout.
These, yes.
Pretty easy because they're not actually...
Yes, all the clothes are sewn out of fabric, but you would coat the whole pair of pants. And then what you do, is I'm gonna reach over here.
And like you said, the base, I'm gonna back you up one step.
For sure.
The base is just the dowels kind of glued into it.
Yep, dowels glued right into that little base.
And then the body is?
It's just a fabric stuffed.
You just stuff some, look. Woo! Close your eyes, kids. The clothes just came off, the pants just came off, okay.
So this is just temporarily while I do because I do that first because then that allows it, gives it time to dry. And then you create the shape that you want. On this little Uncle Sam, I want his stomach to be full because I want the pants to stick out so I can put those flowers in. And then when later on, it will be stuck and dried in that position. So you can kind of see that it makes, you know,
so just take a little bit of batting.
Yep.
Stick it in.
Let it dry, and then it will, you keep that batting in there, but it will be stiff in that position so that you don't have to worry about it, you know, sagging, or it holds its shape. So that's a great way about it.
And not so much in the back, because you want it toward the front for the decor. Because really the back's going to go against whatever, the back of the porch or wherever you're
And these are great for like witch hats, anything that you want to do. If I wanted Uncle Sam's hat to be stiff, I would just rub some of that on there. It's magic.
Okay, so Sam has a body belt. Where do we go from here?
Then I'm going to jump to the can, and you notice a lot of people think that it's a mini can, but really it's not. It is a full can. You can use whatever poison you like. And what I've done is I have just cut off the top and bottom with the can opener. Okay. So to get to this point like that, do you see that? Okay. Just a regular can. Then I decide what I want to show. This one, I want to show this front piece, and I'm going to cut out the back 3/4, or about 1/3 of a section.
So we're cutting out like the nutrition information, essentially.
Yeah, it depends on what your logo is. But all I do is take an old pair of scissors that I don't necessarily need to keep, and I just cut it. Surprisingly, it's pretty easy to cut through. Okay. Flip it around, do the same to the other side. And I try to do it in one swoop because then it just is, it's less shards and less little bit. So I flip it those 4 times, matching itself up like that. Pop, pop, pops right off there. Then I realize, see, I need to make it shorter, so I'm gonna cut off about another inch. Just work my way around the can. And the fun thing about stuff like this is you can really use this metal for anything. If you wanted to cut it up, like a little, you know, make a card out of it. Of course, then I bend it. So I'm bending this hard seam at the top to create the shape that I want. And therefore you've got that little can like that. To make it so that there's no roughed edges, I have done this too. I put a little piece of leather, just glued it on.
Just it doesn't fingers aren't getting scraped on that.
It doesn't really do anything except for covering it up.
Okay, perfect.
So then that will glue on top of my hat. And you can do that out of any you know, any other kinds of soda that you like.
So we're taking the can, we're sticking it on Uncle Sam.
Yep. So I've also
Am I sticking that on right now?
No.
Darn it.
He doesn't need a head.
Listen, I forgot about a head. It's a small detail.
It is a small detail.
I thought I was blinded by the Coke can. That's my only excuse for this.
So one other thing I wanted to show you is the dimension of the head. A lot of times in sewing, you just get a two-dimensional front and back oval. But the fun thing about something like this is it gives you a three-dimensional. And all I do is I take a little wedge like this, and I cut specifically 5 for this head. You could do bigger, shorter, taller, wider, whatever you want, but the same little wedge.
Okay.
So each little side together till you get something that looks like this.
Okay.
And then you just flip that baby
inside out,
flip it right side out, turn it, and then you've got this dimensional
and then you've got this cute
head,
little...
and it really does add a lot to your project. So that will glue right on top of here. And I'm not, of course, doing all of it here, but...
And then we're going to glue the head on.
We're going to glue that right on there.
And then is it the Coke can first?
Well, it would be. Then I would take my little brim, and
the brim is so cute on this.
This is just a little blue piece of vinyl, and I've just rounded the edges, keeping the same size all the way around. Of course, I'm using my bad scissors now for the can, but it seems to be working, so we'll go with that. So the hat I just cut, of course I didn't finish it, glue it right on top, just like that, and then this is where your Coke can
this is when my can
would
comes
just,
in.
can would go right on top of there.
Look at
and then you would just kind of build it from that.
And now we're kind of in the fun part, because now you're adding all the detail. So show me some of the things you like for detail.
So
I see that
one
you
of the favorite things that I like are the eyes, and the eyes make this little Uncle Sam so unique.
They're pretty cute.
I don't know if you
like
can
the
see them
puppy
right
dog
there.
eyes.
Yeah, so I put those right down there. But the fun thing that makes a project unique is just try not to be so uniform and perfect. So I cut little, what do you call them, pupils, or the colored part?
Pupils, sure.
So I cut a little teardrop, and you can kind of see that I just sew them right onto this little leather piece that I have, and I go around and around and around, and I try to honestly make it look a little messy.
And it is a little messy.
It is a little messy.
But on Uncle Sam, it really works.
And that's just one of the things that I like to do that makes your project way more unique than just like a dot eye. It's kind of fun. And then you'll glue those on. I've got a cute nose too. I don't know where we're at on that, but a fun way to do the nose is that I like, this is just a straight, like I said, two-dimensional, but one of the things that I love to do is give it some character. So I've just taken a needle and thread, knotted it, and I'm gonna make myself some nostrils. And this will just give little projects a little bit of detail. So I've got the nose, I come out down at the bottom where your nostril would go, take a little stitch, come right back up where you started. And if you notice that as you pull,
it does. It kind of gives you those little details are so fun. So walk me through quickly the little pieces of ornamentation you have. You brought flowers.
So once these pants are full, you're going to be able to put in all the different kind of flowers you want. I did these vintage cards, which are adorable. They have them at stores, and they just add so much to them. And then I did a little key, a little wooden key or a metal key, a tag that says freedom, liberty. Dress them up. You can see I've did the eyes and nose. Of course, the feather in his hat, and this is just a tassel that you can just buy from the craft store. And then he has more, of course, I love just fibers. I love to use pom-poms and fibers. And pretty simply, I mean, it looks busier than it is, but that's what I've got on there.
And this is the fun part where people really get to show their personality. This is a darling project. Tell us, are you teaching this at any of your classes?
Yes, I taught some already, but I have DanaEngemannDesigns.com is my website, and I have classes where they're going to be taught, and I sell kits and different things like that. But I have all the new projects that will come out each month.
You have got us covered for this very patriotic spirit this summer. Thank you so much, Dana.
Thanks.